Spirit, hear us calling to you. I will be defined by no other. I will let you be close, brother Jesus. And I will be defined by no other. I let you come close, my brother. Every thought you have towards me, Lord, I receive. Everything you say about me, I believe is true. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place, fill the atmosphere. Come fill the atmosphere. Our hearts are burning, Lord. Our hearts are burning, Lord. Good morning. This morning I was just worshiping, and I decided to bring the atmosphere of worship into our devotion before we got started. So thank you for joining me. We're in the book of Judges today. Lord, Holy Spirit, you are so welcome here. We love you, we honor you, and we bless you today. So today we're in Judges chapter 8, and we went through the first part of chapter 8 on Saturday, and now we're going to finish chapter 8 today. I'm so glad you could be with me. We're in the Passion Translation. If you have this book, we're on page 91. This is Joshua, Judges, and Ruth, the most recent translation by the Passion Group, and Brian Simmons. And we are studying about Gideon. Today is the last day that will be in the book of Judges in the chapter 8, where it talks about Gideon's life. It's been amazing to read about him and how he's grown in courage. And the subtitle to this book is Courage to Conquer. So all of these three books, Joshua, Judges, and Ruth, have to do with conquest and conquer and receiving your inheritance. And so it's been so good. All right, so let's read here starting in verse 22. I'm so glad that you're here. Let me know if you are, if you want to comment. I'd love that. Okay, Gideon's ephod. After that, the Israelites said to Gideon, "You're our war hero. You're our war hero, Gideon. You're the one who saved us from the Midianites. You be our ruler. Then your son will rule after you, and then your grandson." Gideon answered, "No, neither I nor my son will be your ruler. Yahweh is to be your only king." Right answer, Gideon. Good on ya. "However, I do have one request," Gideon added. "Give me all the gold earrings you took from the Midianites." It was the custom of the Midianites to wear gold earrings because they were Ishmaelites. The people answered, "Gladly, they're yours." Then they spread out a cloth, and each one placed on it earrings they had taken as plunder. Below in the notes it says that this would have been 43 pounds of gold. In another commentary it said 50 pounds of gold. Either way, it was a fortune that he gathered here. And You know, everyone has the opportunity to do with their fortune what God tells them to do. And we don't know if Gideon heard from the Lord on what he did here. He may have meant well, but what ended up happening was not well. The people answered, "Gladly they're yours." They spread out a cloth, and each one placed on it the earrings they had taken as plunder. Hi, Jeannie. Gideon received gold earrings that weighed 1,700 shekels, not including the crescent ornaments. Well, those crescent ornaments went around the necks of the camels, and they took those as well, necklaces and fine purple robes of the kings of Midian, nor the ornamental collars taken from the necks of their camels. Sorry, that's the ornamental collars. Gideon used all this plunder to make a sacred golden ephod. Well, this is where the story goes south. He put it on display in his hometown, Ophrah, and all of Israel strayed from Yahweh as a result. You know, what do we have on display? What do we have as the center instead of Jesus? They gave their hearts over to the golden ephod. It became a seducing snare for Gideon and his family. What is it that God is trying to get our attention and tell us that we've got a seducing snare that he actually wants to remove and replace with himself? Let's really press in to ask him if there's anything in our life, in our family, in our bloodline, in our kids. What is it that's seducing and snaring us from keeping us from all that God has for us? So Israel defeated Midian, who never troubled them again. Then the land had peace for 40 years, and then Gideon died. Gideon, the Baal fighter, the son of Joash, returned to his own home and lived there. Because he had many wives, Gideon fathered 70 sons. Sometimes this feels like it's out of order because we just read that he died. Now we're going to go back a couple steps and find out a little bit about his wives and concubines. He had many wives. He fathered 70 sons. 70 children. That's just the sons. In addition, he took a concubine in Shechem. She bore him a son, and he named him Abimelech. We'll find out more about Abimelech. Gideon's son of Joash died at a ripe old age and was buried in the tomb of his father Joash at Ophrah, a town of the clan of Abiezer. No sooner had Gideon died than the Israelites again abandoned the true God, Yahweh. Wow. And worshipped the image of Baal. What was it about Baal that was so enticing that they couldn't keep their worship on for Jesus? I don't know. They made Baal-berith their god and no longer remembered Yahweh their God, who had saved them from all their enemies on every side. Yahweh, the creator God who showed himself to Gideon, who came in the form of an angel and who did so many works and wonders for them, and yet they still thought there might be the chance that some other god, man-made god, could fulfill their dreams. I don't know. The Israelites failed to demonstrate loyal love to the family of Gideon, the Baal fighter, for all the good that he had done for them. All the good that he had done for them. These people still couldn't even demonstrate loyalty and love to the family of Gideon after all they had done for them. Wow. Down in the notes, it says they actually prostituted themselves to the image of Baal and to the gods of Baal. You know, seducing spirits are strong, and if you keep company with those seducing spirits and those people that are in doing that, it's really hard to break away. And so we need to watch who we're keeping company with. So that's the end of chapter 8. And Gideon was such an incredible example to us. I loved reading about him all the way since chapter 6. Amazing stuff. Lord, help us not to forget the way that you showed yourself to Gideon. How you came down and sat under the oak tree, and how you said, Yahweh's presence goes with you, man of fearless courage. And even though Gideon said, why is all this trouble happening to us? You said, am I not sending you, God? With my presence you have all that I need. Go in the strength that you now have and rescue Israel. Isn't that good? Isn't God so faithful? And he even waited for Gideon to return as he went and prepared an offering. And the Lord burnt up the offering on the rock. And he said, be at peace, don't be afraid, you'll not die. Gideon successfully tore down strongholds, and it says in chapter 6 that the Spirit of Yahweh clothed himself in Gideon and enveloped him. He caused Gideon to pare down his 32,000 troops to 300 men. And he still was successful in battle. We learned with Gideon that the enemy is afraid of you. And they know when God is on your side, and they even dream about it. And it provides confirmation that you will win your battles. They won their last battle with just shofars and torches inside of clay jars that they broke. And even though other clans around them would not go to battle with them, and they were totally exhausted, they still went into battle, and God gave them the victory. Well, so we're closing this chapter on Gideon today, and tomorrow we'll begin to read about his son Abimelech and what happened with Israel with Abimelech. Yeah, we have at least a month more. It's August 2nd. We have at least a month, the whole month of August, to be in the book of Judges. I hope that you'll hang in there, and then we'll be in the book of Ruth. And I just pray God's blessing on you today, this Monday. Today is the day that the Lord has made, and thank you for joining me today. We worshipped a little bit at the beginning, if you didn't catch that. And we're just going to keep availing ourselves to the Lord and to what he wants to do. Keep pressing in to his presence and his gifts and his inheritance for us. All right, God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.